Walk into any given church near Christmas, and you will find a wreath with candles in it. The wreath and candles serve as a reminder of the work God has started and continues to do in our world. The loop of greenery is called an Advent wreath. Advent is the beginning of the Christian calendar and comes from a Latin word that means coming or arrival. During Advent, we celebrate God moving into the neighborhood as Jesus, and we look forward to his return. Each week, you will notice that a new candle is lit in the video. Each light guides us to focus on a different attribute of this season of excitement. The candles represent hope, peace, joy, and love, 4 things we could use more of right now. This week, Nick will focus on love.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. So the Grinch was this nasty, wasty skunk that lived on a mountain above Whoville. His heart was 2 sizes too small, and the likelihood is that he was a rejected Who, that at one point he had been part of the population of Whoville. And for 53 years, he lived away and he lived apart, and his heart filled with hatred. And it consumed who he was, just this hate for the Whos and the disdain. His hatred would eventually twist his heart and drove him further from the people and more into himself. We see it all the time in our world. Hate overwhelms and twists the faces of the people around us. It creates an ugliness we can see but can't quite describe. You may see it when you look in the mirror in the morning, a self-hatred that leaves you disgusted, or you've become so hateful of people that see things differently than you, that you wear your disdain on your face. I've been there too, and still end up in that place more often than I'd like to admit. So let's go back to the Grinch though. Just as he's about to shove Christmas off a cliff, the Grinch pauses to listen to the agony he's caused. His vengeance complete. He's disappointed to discover the Who's singing and celebrating. The song and joy attached to it awakens the too small heart of the Grinch, and he realizes what his hate has done. It's not destroyed the Whos. It's only wrecked him. He returns everything he's taken, and he begins to celebrate with the Whos. A world of love is far better than a world of hate and discord. The heart of love. Love is one of the major themes of the Bible. You can find it from beginning to end. There are several words used to talk about love, but the one we need to key on is the word agape. What's interesting about this word, the early authors didn't go to a dictionary to figure out the meaning of the word agape. They looked at Jesus, what he said, and what he did. That's how they defined what love was. That's how they defined what this word agape really meant. 1 John 4:9-11 says this. This is how God showed his love among us. He sent his one and only Son into the world that we might live through him. This is love, not that we loved God, but that he loved us and sent his Son as an atoning sacrifice for our sins. Dear friends, since God so loved us, we also ought to love one another. It kind of tells us the whole story of God's love. Look at the language of these verses. It's full of action verbs. God's love isn't just an affection for us. It's an active love. God's been on this incredible journey of love since the very beginning, First, he creates this incredible world, this beautiful universe, and then he sets us in it. He creates us and says, here, this is a gift you haven't even earned or deserved, but I'm going to place you in it because I love you so much. And then he walks with us. It tells us that he walked with Adam and Eve. And in the midst of walking with us, we turn and say, I can do it without you, God. I don't really need you. And in that moment of rejection, God hands us over to ourselves, and then he shows up again. And he reaches out again, and again we reject him. And then he shows up again, and we continue to reject him. And he continues to show up. This is the love that we celebrate during Advent and the Christmas season. It's a love that is active. It's the Shema, love the Lord your God. And the second, it's like it, love your neighbor as yourself. They're active loves. They're loves that move and function. If you want to see a different face in the mirror, if you want to see a different kind of world, a better one, then learn about the love we talk about in this season. Learn about the love of Jesus that is more than affection, it is a verb.